Okay, welcome to another lockdown lesson. Today just going to talk very quickly about the low spinning shot and the high flop shot. I'm going to hit two different shots, both with my 60-degree lob wedge, and then we'll talk about the numbers. I've got the TrackMan set up behind me, and we'll have a wee look at the numbers after I hit the shot and talk about the differences. So here's the first one. Nice low spinner there. Then I'm going to try to hit a more high sort of flop shot. Both shots hit with the club face open. And both shots landing about the same spot. So we'll have a wee look at the numbers now and talk about the difference in the technique.
Okay, so here are the numbers from the two shots. The top set of numbers are the high flop shot and the lower numbers are the lower shot with more spin. And the big differences there, you can see the spin rate of the two shots, with the lower launching shot going off at 4,500 spin and the higher shot with just under 2,000. And big differences are the launch angles there, 51.5 degrees as opposed to 32.5 degrees roughly. And there, what's created that is the dynamic loft between the difference in the two shots there. So 60.5 compared to 49.7 dynamic loft, but still a big difference in the launch angle between the two shots, given that there was only just over 10 degrees of loft difference. The reason for that is the friction. The friction between the ball and the club makes the ball launching off a lot lower, and that was achieved by de-lofting the club. Remember, the club face was open in both of those shots, so it was playing much more than actually 60 degrees of loft, but a lot more friction with the lower launching one because the club face was open, hands were a little bit forward, so the club was de-lofted slightly. And you can see didn't hit down in it anymore. Attack angle both around about 4 degrees, so a lot of the time we think we have to hit down in the shot to make it spin more, but that's not really the case. It's just that my hands were ahead a lot more, and as I released it, it actually shallowed the club out, and that created a lot more friction having the hands ahead and that slight de-loft. So here's the lower launching shot that had more spin. Just before impact, couldn't quite get it onto impact, but you can see there's a lot more shaft lean on this shot when we compare it to the other. Head's a little bit more forward as well, so my weight generally is a lot more forward. My mass is more forward. Centre of gravity is more forward. And yeah, ultimately the handle is quite a lot forward of the club head, so that gives me that de-lofting effect. And you know, we'll see the action after again when we rerun through the shots. But if you just look at the head position and the hand position, and we'll compare that to the one that had a little bit more launch on it. And here was the higher launching shot, the sort of flop shot. So you can see here my head's a lot further back. It's still reasonably over the ball, but it's not getting ahead of the ball. The club shaft is much more upright, again just before impact. So that's presented a lot more loft. That's where that extra bit of loft comes from, is that the club shaft is almost vertical there, as opposed to the shot before where there was a lot more handle lean forward. Again, both of these shots didn't hit down on them very much, only 4 degrees of downward angle, but this one allowing the club head, almost that feeling of allowing the club head to go past my hands, which makes the ball pop up in the air, as opposed to the lower launching shot where you very much felt that my hands were leading the club head through the entire way. Okay, there's the numbers one more time. and then we'll go on to just have a wee look at the two different swings. I hope you found that interesting. Hopefully something you can put into practice at home, and any questions, just drop me an email. Thanks.